Nicely done, Tom. Kind of reminds me of the Wordier Than Now roast of Jack Kerouac a couple years ago. That was a fun thing. All right, so the next poet that I wanted to welcome here to the stage part of the literal roof that Studio 620 built. Local musician, powerful poet, social activist, Pedro Poeta.
You guys. And can everybody please give a round of applause to yourselves for being part of this beautiful celebration of poetry and Jack Kerouac here. Not about me, it's not about poetry, it's about the spirit that we're trying to keep alive, for such a strong spirit that provided so much for this community, St. Petersburg, Jack Kerouac. He gave a lot, opened the ways for this to be one of the most, artistically welcomed communities that I've ever, and I've traveled, I'm telling you, I've been in several continents. I've been, I went to college in Europe, you know what I mean? I've traveled around, I've been to at least 30 states in this country, and traveled at least 10 countries. This is one of the most amazing communities that I've ever been to, and thank you for keeping it alive and keeping the arts alive in this community, especially venues like this, like 620. Just gotta put that out there. Thanks for supporting, venues like this and causes like this, because this is what keeps the arts alive. So appreciate all of you guys for being here, man. So it's not about me, it's not about us, it's about this community, all right? So Jack Kerouac. So when I got asked to do this show, I already knew which poem, which chorus I wanted to do. And I told Jane, where Jane's at? I told her right there, and I already know which one I want to do. I was probably one of the first ones to be like, I know which one I want to do. The poem I'm going to read by Jack Kerouac started with a quote, and he didn't cite his work, and I'm an English teacher, all right? So, Kerouac, you ain't cite your work, all right? So I had to do some research and find out where that came from, because I loved that course. And so I found it, so I'm gonna read his, and then I'm gonna read mine. And I literally picked a different quote from the exact same text, because I read the whole text, and it's a Buddhist text, all right? And it comes from the teachings of the compassionate Buddha. He never quoted it, but he, throughout this entire book, he quotes that very reading, and he never gives it credit. So, Kerouac, rest in peace, but I would have failed you in my English class. Alright? I thank him for all his contributions, but he would have failed my English class, alright? So he starts from a quote from that book, and I love what he wrote to that quote. And so I start from a quote from the exact same book, and then I put it into my own perspective. So that's what I have to offer you tonight. 184th chorus by Jack Kerouac. Men are afraid to forget their own minds, fearing to fall through the void with nothing to which they can cling. They do not know that the void is not really void, but the real realm of the Dharma. End quote. Wow, I thought reading that. When I start falling in that inhuman pit of dizzy death, I'll know, if smart enough to remember, that all the black tunnels of hate or love I'm falling through are really radiant, right eternities for me. Jack Kerouac. Pedro el Poeta. This one's called Umpteenth Chorus. And it starts with a quote from the same book. Ordinary people look outwards, while followers of the way look into their own minds. But the real Dharma is to forget both the external and the internal. End quote. Forgetting is the easy part, I thought. It's remembering to forget. I keep forgetting. It's remembering to reject the recognition of what was for what there wasn't. And there was so much that wasn't. It's the vice of voidlessness that feels so visceral. And thus I must remind myself between what's inward and what's out is where the purest void is quiescent. Look that word up. Have a good night. Thank you.